Bonsoir YouTubers, this is Cessna Ace back again with another video cassette ads video. This time around covering 3 different video cassette formats: Betamax, or Betamax depending on where you live, VHS, or Video Home System depending on how pedantic you are, and Video 2000, a format we didn't get here in the US. Now, VHS came out in the US in '77. And even though Sony released the Betamax format in the US beginning in '75, Betamax was the superior format. Even tapes recorded in Betamax's middle speed of B2 look better than VHS tapes recorded in SP mode, or standard play. And I have to thank Super High Bay and Betamax for informing me that Sony continued making Betamax VCRs for the Japanese market right up until around, I think he said 2004, and that they continued to offer some models that were Mode 1 record enabled. How cool is that? I wonder if I'll be importing one. I did import a VHD player. Anyway, this is in the Betamax format. It is called Battle Hell, and I may be mistaken, but I don't think I am. I think this is a British film. Not that there is anything wrong with that. In fact, I quite like British films. Released by Vidamerica. Vidamerica is a trademark of VCA/Technicolor. This is Vidamerica release 7060. Now, the cassette shell and the face label on this one look really nice. There's just a slight bit of yellowing, but not much. Now, somewhere along the way it lost its original spine label, but I'm not going to cry over that. Okay, just so you know, I'm going to be jumping around between formats. And if you get the feeling of deja vu as you see me showing a VHS release, know that I'm always on the lookout for upgraded copies. So I might have shown the video. This is just a better copy. Now, I'm not quite sure with this one, because I know we have it on VHS in a slip case, but this is in a clamshell case. And it was in fairly nice condition, so I went ahead and picked it up. It's out at the flea market. Believe it or not, I saw this film when it first came out at the drive-in, 1975, I believe. The Apple Dumpling Gang. This is part of the Don Knotts collection. Don Knotts made a lot of films for Disney, many with Tim Conway, many without. Tim Conway, always hilarious. Right there. Don Knotts was the sidekick in Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. I only mention that because, believe it or not, the original Love Bug, which I think came out in '69 or thereabouts, I saw it at the drive-in. I'm old. This is Walt Disney Home Video Release 4133. Okay. Betamax. I believe this to be a British film, and I'll tell you why in a moment. The Ghost Goes West. From Embassy Home Entertainment, release 3112, beneath which it says Classic Comedy. Now, the reason I think this may be a British film is the copyright. Copyright 1936, renewed 1964, London Film Productions Limited, which would be rather a silly name for an American company. So that's what I'm going by. Okay, also from Embassy Home Entertainment and on Betamax. I've heard of this film, I've just never seen it. The Devil and Daniel Webster. From the Janus collection. Janus had collaborated with Voyager Press to come out with the Criterion collection. And so they're probably right up there with Black Hawk Films. I consider Black Hawk Films to have the best film elements of old films. Copyright RKO, Radio Pictures. Ooh, someone was not kind. They did not rewind. Release 6051, classic drama. Okay. VHS. This is an animated film I've never heard of. Or had never heard of until I bought this. It has a really good voice cast. Tim Curry, Dom DeLuise, Bobcat Goldthwait, Kathleen Griffin, Jane Horrocks, Jason Priestley, and Lynn Redgrave. This was released on VHS by Sony Wonder. I think this is my only VHS tape from Sony Wonder. I have a number of DVDs from Sony Wonder. Now you can't see the catalog number. It's not obscured or anything, it's just that it's dark and the background is dark. Fortunately, they printed it on the label. LV55258. Okay, Video 2000. This is a release from West Germany. Now, Super High Band Betamax and I were discussing how preferable it is to have a video release with a painted cover as opposed to one that just slaps a frame grab from the film. So it takes a lot more effort, it requires skill, and you have to appreciate that. If I didn't already say, a West German release from Mike Hunter Video. Now, isn't that better than just a frame grabbed from the film? Although if you want to see some, they're on the back. Mike Hunter Video Release MH152. No face label, but it does have the original spine label. Okay. I have this Laurel and Hardy comedy on VHS. It's a slow speed mess. It looks terrible and it doesn't track worth a darn. I also have it on DVD. This is Betamax though. The Flying Deuces. Released by VCI, Video Communications Incorporated, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Release 2006. No spine label, but at least that allows me to see that they used an L370. Okay, now I have a lot of releases in this line on VHS. Now I have some on Betamax as well. Crown Video's Crown Movie Classics line. This is the classic Alfred Hitchcock film Sabotage, not to be confused with the Alfred Hitchcock classic Saboteur. Now, Crown did not believe in putting photos on the back. They did not believe in catalog numbers either. I'm going to have to clean this one up. The window there, a little dirty. Okay, I give up. Okay. Back in the late 70s when I got into home video, and it was an expensive proposition back then, I paid $1,500 for my first VHS VCR. And if you were buying videos back then, your major players were magnetic video and media home entertainment. Media being the second one out, magnetic video the first. Magnetic video did the rounds. They were already a company that had been around for a number of years, duplicating broadcast and industrial format videotapes. Magnetic video went around to all the studios and licensed what they could. They got the most from Fox, because Fox was at the time cash poor, and magnetic video was offering a very lucrative and generous licensing fee. But magnetic video licensed titles from everybody from ABC Films to Walt Disney. Now, magnetic video launched the same year that the VHS format came out, 77. A lot of films co-star Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. This is Billy Wilder's The Fortune Cookie, licensed from United Artists. But as I said, the company that licensed the most to magnetic video was Fox. Now, the studio saw how much money media and magnetic video were making, and they wanted in on that. I'm sure somebody at Fox said, we should be releasing these ourselves. So they did the most practical thing. They bought magnetic video. Late 80 or early 81. They only kept the magnetic video label going for about a year. I have most of my magnetic video titles are either Laserdiscs, which, if you think about it, magnetic, strange name for an optical disc format. But I have Laserdisc and VHS tapes. This is my first magnetic video Betamax tape. Catalog number 4569-20. If it were VHS, it would be -30. Now, being that this came out in 81, it's a late release. But I've got one that's later in VHS, because even though the box is magnetic video, and you pop in the tape and you play it and it has the magnetic video logo and everything, the face label says CBS Fox on that. I think it's the Mel Brooks film, The Producers. Anyway, this has the actual magnetic video label. Apparently what happened was they ran out of face labels before they ran out of boxes. Okay, this is a VHS release. I have this film on Laserdisc. I first saw it when I was a kid. Well, I was in middle school, which back then we called junior high school. So I was a pretty old kid. But they showed us this film. And I know they still show this film in schools because, A, the Laserdisc copy that I have has a giant public library, school public library sticker on it. And B, my daughter, my eldest daughter, who's about to graduate high school, said that she saw this when she was in middle school. Talking about The Diary of Anne Frank. Now, I've seen this film a number of times. It's a classic. And I've read the actual book, The Diary of Anne Frank, 3 different times in my life. You get a different perspective when watching it, depending on what age you are and your level of maturity. But when I saw it in school, they didn't show it on Laserdisc. They showed it on 16mm film. And I used to like to get as close to the projector as I could because I liked the sound of the film running through the projector. Call me a nut, I'm sure you already are. This is VHS, release 1074. And I'm not going to show you the spine label because it's gone and somebody put their name and address on there. And they're here in Jacksonville, Florida. So that would really not be good to show that. Okay, I didn't intend to do this, to show 2 Holocaust films back to back. This is one, it's supposed to be a classic. I've never seen it. But it's presented in the way that I prefer foreign films to be presented, and that is not dubbed into English, but retaining the original language track with legible English subtitles. Now this film has the original German and Russian soundtrack with yellow English subtitles. It's based on a true story. As I said, it's supposed to be really good. Europa, Europa. Now I have to be careful about films like this because I suffer from clinical depression. So I have to be in just the right mood to see it, and even then I'll have to have an antidote film at the ready, something that'll lift my spirits just in case. I don't know, Singing in the Rain or something. This is Orion home video release 5064 with the label printed on the shell. Okay, this one is a Betamax tape that is still factory sealed. And you know my rule. If it's a dead format and it's factory sealed, it stays factory sealed. Harlow from Paramount Home Video. This is release 6423. Okay, I had never heard of this series before. It's really cool. It's called MGM UA Great Books on Video. They're films that have been adapted from classic novels, obviously. And while they have a catalog number on the spine, they also have the number of the release within that series. You know what I mean? For example, this is MGM UA Home Video Release M500114, which is a typical MGM UA catalog number. But it's number 114 within the series. Pride and Prejudice. Has the original face label on it, but it's a little crooked. Okay, Beta. Okay, this one I found out at the flea market. It's part of the same series. It's release number 500 within the series. Catalog number is M300500. Oh, The Yearling. As I stated, VHS. back to Betamax. This is MGM-UA release M300652, number 652 in the series, The Three Musketeers. I've never seen this film adaptation, but it's got a really nice cast. Beta. Okay, this is also beta in the same series, MGM-UA M300743. This is number 743. Anthony Adverse. I've never heard of that film. Okay, and finally, this is number 840 in the series. Something of Value. Okay, Video 2000. This is a, I believe, this is a release from Finland. The person I bought it from on eBay. They're in Finland. The Killer Likes Candy. This has a painted cover also, but I daren't push in too far. Okay, that's far enough. This is release number 8 from Benelux Video. Actually, I might have been wrong because the address is in Amsterdam. Anyway, has the original face label and everything. And she even made me a DVD-R copy, direct from this tape. File standard, but I can play file standard DVDs. Okay. Betamax. Disney. I found a lot of Disney films or releases on Betamax that I had never heard of before. This is Bill Burud Explores the Amazing Animal World, Predators of the Sea. Now, nowhere on it does it say Walt Disney Home Video. It has a Walt Disney catalog number, 803BS, and it has the same address for their Buena Vista distribution arm, except it's attributed to WD-TNT Company. Now, I didn't know what that meant first, and then I came across a tape that has Walt Disney Home Video on it, and it says distributed by WD-TNT Company, which stood for Walt Disney Telecommunications Not Theatrical Company. What a name. Walt Disney Telecommunications Not Theatrical Company. Okay, I have this one on CED, although the CED has another program on the other side. This is from 1956 or somewhere around there. Is there a copyright date? No. 1956. Disney quit putting copyright dates on their video releases at some point. They had a two-tiered system, pricing system for a while, as did Warner Home Video. They charged video rental stores who had to buy copies more than they did the general public. And they would mark them for sale only or for rental only. This is marked for sale only, not intended for rental. Ironically, I had to remove a lot of rental store stickers off of this one. This was originally aired as part of the Disney's Wonderful World of Color, or whatever it was called. On Vacation with Mickey Mouse. This combines live action bits with mostly animation. If I remember correctly, you have Jimmy Cricket typing on a real typewriter by jumping from key to key. And he's trying to contact the various animated stars within this. Not on Vacation. Release 20BS. Okay. This is a West German Video 2000 release, although I think it's a French film. And it has a painted cover. Don't know how closely I could push into it, so to speak. This is from UFA Video. They really supported the format. Aren't painted covers better? No face label, but it does have its original spine label. And what I find interesting is that UFA, anyway, always put the date that they released it. The exact date. This was released August 25th, 1984. That is really cool. But as I said, I've noticed that with UFA Video. Okay. I'll do this one and then stop. Get ready to rain on me. This is a VHS release from Dimension Home Video. Halloween H2O, 20 years later. I think, isn't Dimension a division of Warner Brothers? It doesn't say on the back, but anyway, that's what I have in my head. Okay, I'll end with this one. It's from Disney. Although it doesn't say Walt Disney anywhere on it, it has a Disney catalog number 183BS, and it's distributed by WD-TNT Company, Burbank, California. Running Brave with Robbie Benson. There was a Robbie Benson film I saw in a theater. What was it? Was it called One-on-One? Basketball game? Your mind starts to go on you when you get old. Okay, I'm going to stop for now. Until next time, au revoir and stay awesome. Bonsoir, YouTubers. This is Cessna Ace back again with another video cassette ads video. This time around covering 3 different video cassette formats: Betamax, or Betamax, depending on where you live, VHS, or a video home system, depending on how pedantic you are, and Video 2000, a format we didn't get here in the US. Now, VHS came out in the US in '77, and even though Sony released the Betamax format in the US beginning in '75, Betamax was the superior format. Even tapes recorded in Betamax's middle speed of B2 look better than VHS tapes recorded in SP mode, or standard play. And I have to thank Super High Band Betamax for informing me that Sony continued making Betamax VCRs for the Japanese market right up until around, I think he said 2004, and that they continued to offer some models that were Mode 1 record enabled. How cool is that? I wonder if I'll be importing one. I did import a VHD player. Anyway, this is in the Betamax format. It is called Battle Hell. And I may be mistaken, but I don't think I am. I think this is a British film. Not that there is anything wrong with that. In fact, I quite like British films. Released by Vidamerica. Vidamerica is a trademark of VCA/Technicolor. This is Vidamerica release 7060. Now, the cassette shell and the face label on this one look really nice. Believe it or not, I saw this film when it first came out at the drive-in, 1975, I believe. The Apple Dumpling Gang. This is part of the Don Knotts collection. Don Knotts made a lot of films for Disney, many with Tim Conway, many without. Tim Conway, always hilarious. Right there. Don Knotts was the sidekick in Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. I only mention that because, believe it or not, the original Love Bug, which I think came out in '69 or thereabouts, I saw it at the drive-in. I'm old. This is Walt Disney Home Video Release 4133. Okay. Betamax. I believe this to be a British film, and I'll tell you why in a moment. The Ghost Goes West. From Embassy Home Entertainment, release 3112, beneath which it says Classic Comedy. Now, the reason I think this may be a British film is the copyright. Copyright 1936, renewed 1964, London Film Productions Limited, which would be rather a silly name for an American company. So that's what I'm going by. There's just a slight bit of yellowing, but not much. Now, somewhere along the way, it lost its original spine label, but I'm not going to cry over that. Okay, just so you know, I'm going to be jumping around between formats. And if you get the feeling of deja vu as you see me showing a VHS release, know that I'm always on the lookout for upgraded copies. So I might have shown the video. This is just a better copy. Now, I'm not quite sure with this one, because I know we have it on VHS in a slip case, but this is in a clamshell case, and it was in fairly nice condition, so I went ahead and picked it up. It's out at the flea market.